Hello, and welcome to the Service Intelligence Deminar brought to you by xMatters, an Everbridge company. Thank you for joining us today. Please feel free to share any comments you have throughout today's presentation in the chat. We'd love to hear where you're from, what piqued your interest in xMatters, or anything else you'd like to share. And once again, welcome. Now, before we get started, I have a quick disclaimer. This session is intended for xMatters customers or prospective customers. It's subject to all published fair use policies and other terms and conditions. And if you'd like more information, you can find it at xmatters.com/policy. So now that that's done, let's get started. My name is Tim Wild, and I'll be your host for today's session. I'm the Senior Manager of our Digital Operations Business Solutions Group, and I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Joining me for the demonstration today is Kevin Keeney. Kevin is one of our strategic solution architects with over 20 years of experience in release engineering, DevOps, and operations. The last 3 of those years here with us at xMatters. Kevin has taken multiple companies from manual deployments all the way to full CI/CD, and he uses that experience to design automation workflows and integrations that help our customers increase development velocity while maximizing service uptime. We're very lucky to have him here with us today. So today's demo is focused on one of our most exciting new releases, xMatters Service Intelligence. Organizations today rely heavily on digital services and applications to deliver continuously available value to the business. So when a disruption occurs, the potential risk of losing revenue, damaging customer relationships, and upsetting employees puts a tremendous amount of pressure on incident resolvers to quickly restore services before the business is impacted. AI-powered service intelligence integrates the critical insights, resolver engagement, and automation capabilities you need to rapidly restore your digital services into a high-performance console, allowing incident commanders to make decisions quickly and take immediate action to ensure services are always available to the business users that depend on them. In this webinar, you'll discover how our digital operations platform with service intelligence allows organizations to detect digital service issues quickly and visualize those incidents, service dependencies, and changes to the service landscape in real time to track incidents as they unfold. Next, you'll learn how you can gain greater insight into potential root causes with change intelligence telemetry, so resolvers can focus their efforts, rally subject matter experts, and quickly scale your response. And finally, you'll see how to remediate issues faster with service-centric automation that streamlines and accelerates resolution, minimizing degradations and downtime. So if you don't remember anything else about today's session, here are the 3 takeaways that I want you to leave with. And that's that xMatters Service Intelligence empowers you to detect digital service issues and visualize incidents in real time, to gain greater insight and context to identify potential root cause, and to remediate issues faster with service-centric automation. And with that in mind, I'll hand it over to Kevin to show us how all of this is done.
Thanks, Tim. As Tim mentioned, when an issue occurs, the fear of losing revenue damaging customer relationships and upsetting employees can put a tremendous amount of pressure on incident resolvers. With xMatters Service Intelligence, organizations can visualize incidents in real time, gain greater insight into their root causes, and remediate issues faster with server-centric automation. Service intelligence integrates everything you need to monitor and resolve issues into a high-performance resolver console that allows incident commanders to make decisions quickly and take immediate actions to ensure that services perform as they should before they become business problems. So to start off our demo, let's look at our inbound signals report, where we can see our monitoring tool has detected an issue with the order service and has triggered a signal to xMatters. When we click the trigger name, it takes us to the automation workflow that handles this process. So we're going to look at the activity. When we look at the workflow activity, we can see the path the signal took. It looks like Xmatters posted the issue to Slack and for visibility, and then triggered an Ansible script to scale up the service, and then create a JIRA ticket to log the issue. If Ansible had reported back the script was successful, Xmatters would have updated our chat channels, logged resolvers details in JIRA, and then closed the ticket. However, in this case, Ansible reported back that the auto remediation was unsuccessful. So Xmatters updated our chat channels regarding the failure, then started gathering diagnostic data, infrastructure state, and other environmental details to help us triage. Then it updated the JIRA issue with all of the details, and it finally triggered notifications to the on-call team for each of the affected services. And now, as the current on-call resource for the web app team, I'm receiving a notification in my Xmatters mobile app. Bring this over. As we open the notification, we can see the core information from the monitoring tool, indicating that we have a performance issue. In addition to the monitoring alert data, we see that the diagnostic data being provided. This is what we call enriched notifications. Data from a single source typically isn't enough to understand what really is happening. So Xmatters grabs additional relevant information to provide the needed context, allowing me to see what else is going on in my environment, the state of my infrastructure, and what may have recently changed. First, we can see that Ansible attempted to run a remediation script to repair the service, but it didn't work, which indicates that there's a larger problem here that needs human intervention. Then we have the status from Rabbit telling me that there are about 7,218 messages stuck in the queue, which is a good indication that this has a major impact. The GitHub and Jenkins data gives me important information related to the change state. It looks like Greg Smart checked in some new code just a little while ago. And then a few minutes later, our Jenkins pipeline successfully deployed the new code to production. Then shortly thereafter, the service started failing. So that gives a pretty good picture of what's probably led to this outage. So as the on-call resource, my first of several questions about what happened have already been answered. For me, because Xmatters has done the heavy lifting of retrieving information about my infrastructure state, what has changed, and the results of our automated remediation attempt. This saves me a great deal of time and effort, allowing me to make a quicker, better informed decision with greater situational context. Now, armed with this data, I can quickly determine what to do next, and Xmatters provides response options that allows me to take immediate action. The first thing I might do is acknowledge the notifications, take ownership, but I can do much more than that. I might want to roll back whatever code was deployed in the previous version, and I can click this button to trigger Jenkins to do that. Or maybe after looking at this, I realize that with so many messages stuck in the queue, this is a very large impact, so I need to trigger the major incident process and scale up my response. From just me working on it alone to coordinating efforts across multiple teams and departments. I'll hit respond now, and what this is doing is it is reaching out into ServiceNow, opening up a ticket, which is also another problem that people will have, is getting people to get those tickets opened with all the logs and putting all the necessary data into the system. So now I'm going to show Slack. And we can see with Slack that we have already started opening up incidents. So we can see the incident that was opened. We can see that it's high impact. We can see what the ServiceNow ticket's going to be. If we click on replies, we can see what the Xmatters incident is, what the Slack channel is for collaboration, and a status page. Xmatters has automated the process of creating and transcribing all of these records, saving me a tremendous amount of time and energy, allowing me to focus on problems solving instead of filling out tickets. Xmatters has also shared this information between all the appropriate channels to increase visibility and facilitate collaboration while keeping the business informed. So next we're going to click on the Xmatters incident link. This is the Adaptive Incident Console. The Adaptive Incident Console is a powerful tool designed to facilitate my role as the incident commander, using AI-powered service intelligence to integrate the critical insight, resolver engagement, and automation capabilities. I'm going to need to rapidly restore my services, allowing me to quickly make informed decisions and take immediate action to coordinate remediation efforts across the different teams affected by the issue. The record has been created with the enriched diagnostic information that was gathered earlier and given the same incident number as the service desk ticket in ServiceNow, keeping all these records in sync. Below that, I see a list of services that are impacted by the issue. And as I click on these services, I can get more information about existing incidents. Who owns them, each of these services, and if they have already been engaged. I can also see the service dependencies view to get a better understanding of which services seem to be at the center of the issue. As I open the service dependency view, Xmatters intelligently expands the dependency graph using AI to highlight how impacted services are related to one another and correlating all the incident data to indicate where the potential root cause is. I see that this order service is inflamed, indicating that is the lowest level common service that seems to be affected by this outage. This is enabled using the Show Potential Root Cause and the Highlight Recent Change checkboxes, which use AI and all the available incident data to suggest this as the place I probably want to focus my attention. If I click on the order services, I see an info card for the service indicating the number of active incidents, the service owner if they've been engaged, and the last time the service was changed, which was just today. If I go back to the service map and click on the 3 vertical dots, I can view changes. And quickly see the changes in the services at the time view, including global changes and incidents related to the service. I can click on the change line to get more details and see who did it, what kind of change it was, if it was an infrastructure change, a configuration toggle change, code change, etc. This is a wealth of information in just a couple of clicks. And based on this information, I can make a decision about whether I want to pull in the service owners to engage them in this incident, or I can look into running any service-centric runbook that exists in the service. If I go back to the 3 vertical dots and click on Run Automation, I'm provided with intelligent suggestions of automation actions. Like a service rollback or perhaps a regional failover based on the data that was changed historically, which shows that there was an update to the component right before the trouble started. I'll probably want to perform a service rollback and click the Rollback Previous Version button, which will trigger an automation workflow that handles this process. As I trigger the automation, a user interface opens that prompts me for any information that the runbook needs. The service in question is already presented, so I can just click Submit. Once the service is rolled back to the previous stable version, this should clear the monitoring alert. And when we receive the all clear update from the monitoring tool, this will automatically pull the incident into a mitigated state along with logging the changes against the order service. Back in the incident record, I can see a list of other automations right here that I can trigger. And again, Xmatters is intelligently prioritizing the most relevant automations related to the services as the root of the issue. Now, as soon as this ticket was created, Xmatters began notifying the owners of services identified by the monitoring tool as being impacted. So the mobile app team and the dev team have been notified that, and the owners in the service identified by the monitoring tool as being impacted. So what you'll see here is it's reaching out using calendars, and it's notifying and it's saying who has not responded. So I'm going to go back to my mobile app now, and now I'm actually playing the next user in line. I'm playing the SME. So the first person was the triage person. So now I open up the ticket. I'm going to see the ServiceNow ticket. I'm going to start to get all kinds of information, what happened in Ansible, what's going on in Rabbit. We're going to be querying ServiceNow to see similar tickets, recent changes. And from here, I can click Accept. Now, the other thing I want to show you is, so we can see when I hit accept, it says Kevin Keeney and engaged. If we wanted to add other people, we could do it in two ways. We could do it through the web app. We could do it through the app here, or we could go to add resolvers, notify to engage. And this would allow us, let's say we wanted to include other teams like the Dev2 team, and now using its calendar there, we're now reaching out to the Dev2 team to include them on what's going on. There are a number of other things I can do from here to manage this incident. I can add stakeholders and send out stakeholder updates, add manual notes to the timeline that is automatically capturing all the different actions we're taking or managing the various collaboration channels that we were automatically generating for me when the incident was created. Now that we've triggered a rollback and mitigated the issue, we can verify with the service owners that everything is operating normally before we finally resolve the incident. So you can see here, if I need to add a note, I can do that. So this allows us just not from the automation, but to add things, and we can add stakeholders as well. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to resolve the incident. You can see that Xmatters. So what I'm going to do is right up here, it's fairly simple. I come down, I click resolved. Now what this is doing is several things. The first thing it is doing is Xmatters starts calculating performance metrics to help us understand how we did, how long it took to detect the issue, what was the time to acknowledge, how long the services were impacted. You can see various graphs and metrics on this. The other thing it did, sorry about this. Is not only did it create the ServiceNow ticket, and when I go into, and this would work with any system you've got as far, this we're using ServiceNow as our demo, but it resolved it after it had already assigned it. But what you'll also see is all the records, including the Slack channel, all the history is all brought into whatever your ticketing system is, which is going to allow you to have your single source. So you're not, when something goes wrong, when you're trying to do a post-incident report, you're not trying to go through Slack channels or Teams channels. It's all right here. And then I just want to come back here to show you, this is where it's showing the time to acknowledge, the impact duration. It's a summary of everything that happened. Now, you may have noticed that the chassis history for Slack and Teams, I just pointed out, is showing up in the timeline. It's showing both in our timeline and the ServiceNow timeline. That's because when we changed the incident to resolve, it triggered a workflow of cleaning up operations that captured the chat transcripts from our dedicated collaborated channels, posted those transcripts to the timeline as well as ServiceNow incident, archived the dedicated Slack and or Teams channels, and updated the JIRA issue, closing it out. Think about how much additional time and effort we've saved by automating all of these closure activities, in addition to all of our other automation workflows throughout the incident, removing all the toil and manual effort from the process. By orchestrating all of these activities together, we can dramatically streamline the resolution process and reduce the impact to end users. With that, I'll pass it over to Tim to close us out.
Thanks, Kevin. So let me summarize what we just saw. Kevin showed us how AI-powered service intelligence integrates the critical insights, resolver engagement, and automation capabilities you need to rapidly restore your digital services into a high-performance console, allowing incident commanders to make informed decisions quickly and take immediate action to ensure services are always available to the business users that depend on them. The Xmetter's digital operations platform with service intelligence allows organizations to diagnose the cause of IT disruptions, maximize operational resilience, and restore affected services before they become business problems. By empowering teams with the adaptive tools they need, like our runbook automation, change intelligence, and service catalog, teams can ensure that they are ready to scale their response to any service incident. You can easily rally subject matter experts and incident resolvers directly from your service map to ensure the right people are involved as incidents progress. And with our powerful automation capabilities, you can streamline and accelerate incident resolution to roll back deployments, restart systems, or take other remediation actions with a single click. With Xmetter Service Intelligence, you can visualize incidents in real time, gain greater insight into their root cause, and remediate issues faster to ensure your services are always running. So with that, we are going to open up the chat to see if there are any questions. Looks like there are one or two here. First question is, how does the service data in the service catalog get populated?
It's a good question, Tim. You can sync the data from an existing CMDB or discovery tool or any other data repository you might have. Or depending on the size of your organization, sometimes you might want to use your CMDB, but sometimes that's too much. So we allow you to configure the services directly in Xmatters so you can narrow the list down, or just your critical business services, or just the services your organization is responsible for. Also, if your monitoring tool or any other inbound signal reports data for a service that is already listed in your service catalog, Xmatters will save that data and suggest it is a potential new service that you may want to add to the list. So services can grow organically as infrastructure or monitoring tools report data into Xmatters. Next.
Great. Let's see. Is there a limit to the number of automation actions you can have on an incident?
There is no limit to the number of automations you can create. You can tie any automations to specific services to help restore those services quickly.
All right. There are no other questions? Nope. I think that's it. So we will move on. Thank you for those questions. If you do have any more questions or if you want to learn more, you can get a free forever account at xmatters.com/signup, or you can go to xmatters.com/demo to request a full-length product demo. And remember that we also have more webinars on the horizon, as well as on-demand webinars that you can review anytime. So to see those, just go to xmatters.com/demo days to sign up. Also, feel free to tweet, connect, or like us on social media to keep up to date with our latest news and updates. So with that, this concludes today's Service Intelligence Deminar. A big thanks again to Kevin for guiding us through the overview of Xmatter Service Intelligence, and to our guests, thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you back here at another Xmatters webinar soon. Have a great day.